You rush into the office trying to get everything set for the CEO's arrival. Papers are all over the desk and you quickly sift through the files, making sure everything's in place before he shows up. All right, it's getting late. Time to make sure he has got everything he needs. Let's send him off with a full belly and a sharp mind. When the clock hit 9, the door flew open and in strode the CEO. He had this commanding presence. His face was all about business, cool and collected, like he was stepping into a boardroom instead of a laid-back office. You could tell he was all about getting down to business and small talk, not in his playbook. Morning, sir. He nodded and plopped down on his seat, and his eyes immediately darted around searching for something. Where's the report on last quarter's performance? You wish you had some magic powers so you could just disappear at that moment. I kind of forgot it. Sorry about that. You stumbled over your words, scratching your head, and he showed you a look that screamed you are in deep trouble. Seriously, you forgot? How do you even forget something like this? He said, shaking his head. It's all because you wait until the last minute. His eyes bore into yours, making you swallow hard. I know, sir, but I got sidetracked by some stuff at home. You know, right? But then he gives you this intense look like he's seeing you across the line. Remember, you are his secret wife and he's not ready for anyone to find out about you two just yet. I never asked you to take care of all the chores or my stuff. You keep doing it like acting like your own stuff doesn't matter. This mess, that's on you, not me. I get it, but you're totally off base here. I'm not pointing fingers or anything. It's just that before you could finish, he cut you off with his sharp voice. I don't want to hear it. Just get that file to me as soon as you can. You sighed, feeling the cold shoulder vibes from him. It was always like this, all business, no pleasure. You know better than to push it like he liked it this way. Okay, so I'll get it to you, but it wouldn't hurt to chat a little, right? He barely looked up, all focused on his work. Just the file, please. You rolled your eyes and shook it off. This was just another day in your complicated little world. Wondering why you're pushing him all while sacrificing your own self-respect. But here's the twist. It's not what you think. He has got a heart full of scars, thanks to his ex-girlfriend who left him in pieces. It's like he's built this wall around his heart, convinced that real love is just a fairy tale. He's actually the son of your mom's friend, Mrs. John, even before you took charge as a secretary. She put forward this marriage proposal thinking you could be the one to help him heal and find love again. It's lot to unpack, right? But here you are trying to figure out if you can break through that tough exterior and reach the guy underneath. He was not even into this marriage. Mrs. John is the one who pushed him into it, no doubt. He has made it clear that he just wants to coast through life like you two are total strangers. No deep talks, no emotional baggage. Just keep it surface level and pretend this whole marriage thing hasn't happened. It's like you're throwing gasoline on a fire that's already burned out, just adding to his messed up peace of mind. You're not sure if he'll ever switch up his mind or how he feels about you, but you're gonna keep putting in the effort. You just wanna see him crack a smile at least just because of you. I know she's trying her best and I appreciate that, but I'm not ready to open up. I have been hurt before and I don't want to get hurt again. I'm just trying to protect myself, but there's something about her that's different from anyone else I have met. She's genuinely nice, super caring, and always has a bright smile on her face. It feels like she's slowly chipping away at the walls I have built around myself. I'm not sure what's going on with me. Is it just a friendship vibe or is it something deeper? It's all a bit confusing and I'm not a fan of it. I just want to keep things chill, but it's getting trickier by the day. And then there is the fact that she's kind of stuck in this marriage too, yet she never complains. It's like she's sacrificing her own happiness to help me out. Why is she doing this? Does she have feelings for me? It's all a bit much to wrap around my head. You both were sitting at the dinner table and you kept your eyes on your plate, trying to avoid any eye contact. As you took a bite of your food, you sneaked a glance at him, but he was not looking. He still had that serious look staring down at his food. You shrugged it off and kept eating. You were lost in thought when suddenly your foot went down the wrong pipe. You started coughing, trying to clear your throat, but it only got worse. Tears streamed down your face and your cuffs turned into a rag gasp. You grabbed at your throat, struggling to catch your breath. Seeing her struggling, his face went from calm to alarmed in an instant. You okay? You managed a shaky nod, still coughing. He jumped up and gently took a glass of water from the table. Here, drink this. He said, guiding it to your lips. You took it intensely, feeling the cool water soothe your parched throat. Better, you looked up to see worry, care, and he was almost like he was scared, and it made your heart beat faster. But just like that, his face went back to its usual serious look. You kept sipping the water, feeling a bit embarrassed about the whole scene. Thank you. That word came out hoarsely from your throat, which had been hit by an earthquake a while ago. He nodded and settled back into his seat. You tried to get back to your foot but stopped as you heard a little flip at his words. Pay attention when you're eating. What if something went wrong? It was a bit of a wake-up call, but you could tell he really cared. You couldn't help but smile a little, feeling that connection. Sorry. You mumbled barely loud enough to hear. He nodded again, a bit stiff, and went back to his meal. Hope you remember tomorrow's meeting with our project partners. Make sure you don't forget anything. Jot down the key files we need to present. You nodded along with taking a bite of your food. Kim Jae-hoon and Lee Sung-min are coming, right? Yep, just be ready. Don't worry, I won't forget anything this time. I'm not doing any course tomorrow. I'll just chill and see if I forget anything. He kept a serious face, but you could see a tiny smirk trying to break through. Just keep your head in the game. Oh, and one more thing. Make sure you dress appropriately for tomorrow. Like covering yourself. Appropriately how? Not flashy outfits. You need to look professional. A little flutter of surprise hit you at his unexpected concern. Got it. You walked into his office, finally given the go-ahead, rocking that outfit he had complimented, something that fit you like a glove. You were feeling yourself strutting your stuff until your eyes met his. The way that outfit hugged your curves and showcased your neck was hard to miss, but you caught a hint of disapproval in his stare. He didn't say anything or make a move, but that look of his said it all. You just had to put it aside for now. You reached in further with a small smile and greeted him. Morning, sir. He just nodded and your attention shifted to the window side. There stood his two business partners, Mr. Kim and Mrs. Lee. You wished them too. Good to see you both. Mr. Kim just gave a simple nod, but Mr. Lee showed you a strange look as if he was trying to see your soul, which made you feel a bit uneasy. He stole a glance at Jungkook, hoping he would give you a little backup, but he was totally lost in his phone, scrolling through messages like he couldn't care less. Got everything set for the meeting soon. All right then, he answered without lifting his keys, but Mr. Lee's piercing stare was almost too much to bear, so he turned your attention back to Jungkook, hoping he'd step in. Instead, he cleared his throat and leaned back in his chair, casually flipping a pen between his fingers. So, Mr. Lee, have you checked out the latest numbers on the project? Mr. Lee's attention snapped away from you, making you feel relieved. Oh no, I haven't had the chance to look at them yet. It's okay, alright, let's head to the meeting room. He said, and then he started walking. You followed him, feeling a little creeped out. Mr. Lee kept staring at you like you were some kind of alien. You all walked into the meeting room along with some other usual office crew. After everyone took their seats, Jungkook started showing his slides on the screen. While he was going over the game plan, he noticed Mr. Lee totally zoning out, completely focused on you instead of the presentation. You were kind of just going with it, letting it slide for a bit, but it was starting to feel a little awkward. All right, let's get started. As he clicked through his slides, his eyes flicked towards Mr. Lee, which made him clench his jaw. He had specifically asked you to dress modestly to be fully aware that Mr. Lee was a loose cannon. The guy's attitude towards women was downright disgusting, but still your orbit was more than enough for him to swallow you whole with his eyes, and that's what made him more frustrated. Mr. Lee, what's your take on the marketing strategy? Mr. Lee blinks, snapping back to reality. I don't think it's gonna work. We're just gonna end up bleeding money. Chao leaned in, locking eyes with Mr. Lee. I'm not on board with that. My plan is solid. It's the only way we can progress. You are way too optimistic, Jungkook. This plan is doomed to fail. It's a risky gamble. I believe in this plan and I'm not backing down. This is a golden opportunity and we can't let it slip through our fingers. It's a calculated risk, but the potential reward is immense. Everyone in the room stayed silent, holding their breath at what was going to happen next. Well, I guess that wraps up this meeting, he said coolly, standing up and getting ready to walk out. You also stood up to follow him because this sudden shift was unexpected and could lead to some serious financial crisis. So wait, we can still work this out. We can make some adjustments to the plan, maybe a compromise. He stopped midway and looked at you from over his shoulder. Why would we do that? The plan is perfect as it is. If you're not willing to take the risk, then we'll have to move on. It's a simple decision. You're being ridiculous, Jungkook. This is business, not personal. We need to be practical. Jungkook spun around to lock his eyes with him with an intensity that could cut through steel. Look, when it comes to vision and respect, it's always personal for me. I'm not about to back down on either. Mr. Lee's face turned red. He knew he was outmatched, but he wasn't giving up. He smirked at you, thinking of his next move. Everyone, the meeting is postponed. Please clear out. May I have some personal talk with Mr. Jungkook and Miss Warren? All the other partners and staff went out, making you frown and look at Jungkook only to see him poking his tongue on his inner cheek, caring less about everything going on. But your gaze averted to Mr. Lee, sensing him walking towards you. Wine, your boss is way too stubborn. Honestly, trying to talk to him is just a total waste of time and energy. You should just let him know that if he is willing to lend his secretary to me for a night, I'd be totally down for this project. But before he could finish that ridiculous thought, Jumbo had already had enough that he landed a punch right on his nose, sending him crashing to the ground. How dare you? How dare you make such disgusting demands about my women? You felt a knot in your stomach after Mr. Lee's snarky comment. It left you feeling pretty gross. But what really got to you was Jungkook's anger. He was like a ticking time bomb and honestly it was really scary. On top of all that, you couldn't shake the feeling that Jungkook kind of saw you as his. It was sweet, but also a little weird, especially with how intense he was. Jungkook kept pounding on Mr. Lee, yanking him up by the collar while he was sprawled on the ground. Listen up, man. If you ever even think about her again, I swear I'll end you. She's my wife. She belongs to me, got it? Tears started welling up in your eyes as you turned to see all the staff gathered at the door, totally blown away by what he just admitted. They must have rushed over when they heard the ruckus. He stood there confused, trying to figure out what's going on. Did Jung lash out at Mr. Lee out of anger, or was he trying to make a point for everyone to hear? Maybe he just didn't realize the employees were watching. He quickly stepped in, trying to pull him back before things escalated any further. Sir, calm down, please. He showed you a look and stood up from the ground, releasing his grip on Mr. Lee. He turned around and took in the shocked faces of the employees and partners around him. With a fierce look, he pointed a finger at Mr. Lee and declared, "She's not being wild. She's John Wild, my wife. Got it? You dare disrespect her, and I'll make sure you see her." The news dropped like a bomb, and you could practically hear the collective wah from the employees and partners. It was like the air had been sucked out of the room. Without saying a word, he grabbed your hand and pulled you along with him. He stormed out of the room, towing you along, and you could feel all those curious eyes glued to your backs. You didn't dare look back though. It was like forget everyone else. It was just you two now against the world. You both strolled into the house and Django walked up to the couch, completely wiped out. You weren't quite sure what to say or ask, so you finally broke the quiet with, "I'll grab some water." "Wine." He called out your name, stopping you in your tracks and stepped closer. "Aren't you gonna ask me anything?" You kept your gaze down as he is now inches apart from you. "What do you want me to ask you?" "You really don't have anything to ask about what I told Mr. Lee." You can feel the heat creeping up your cheeks. You said it loud enough for the whole office to hear. Now it's out there for everyone. That's it. Are you done here? Aren't you happy about this? So you said that only to make me feel bad. He covered your mouth, making your breath hitched. Never. You know, I have been so lost these past few days. It's like I have been wandering in circles trying to figure out what I really feel for you. And honestly, it scares me. I mean, I had everything I ever wanted slip through my fingers. But today it did hit me hard. I can't stand the thought of you getting hurt or feeling ashamed. It drives me crazy. I can't handle anyone looking at you like that. I'm sorry it took that little punk to make me say it. I guess I needed a wake up call to realize how much you mean to me. I'm feeling pretty bored right now. I think I can finally say it. I love you. You blinked taken aback. This was no ordinary confession. This is a unique situation. You are his wife, and yet here you are standing on the brink of something deeper. Say something, why? You frowned at him like, are you serious, dude? Because he's still covering your mouth, and he finally understood and took his palm off. Oh, my bad. He lifted his hand from your mouth and you exhaled deeply. So tell me, how do you feel about this? A smile spread across your face and you felt a tiny tickle in your chest. I'm really thrilled to see you moving forward. It makes me even happier knowing I've played a part in that. You're not mad about how I was acting before. You shook your head with a gentle smile on your lips. Not at all. I get it. I've always known what was going on. I didn't mind waiting for you to come around because, but I love you too, you know. I believed that my feelings would eventually lead us here, and now it feels like everything I want is right in front of me. You really mean that? Absolutely. I always believed in us. He scooped you up effortlessly, spinning you around as laughter bubbled out of you. Okay, okay, put me down. You giggled and he obliged, setting you back on your feet. Still holding your hand gently, he looked deep into your eyes. Promise me, you won't dream. You placed your index finger on his lips, silencing him playfully. Don't even think about it. I can't live without my soul. Yes, I can't live without you. I couldn't before, and I certainly can't now. I love you, Jehovah, more than words can say, more than any gesture can show. I've got your back, no matter what. I'm here to cheer you on and love you with all I got. His arms envelop you in a tight hug, squeezing the air out of your lungs. You feel his body shudder as he fights with his emotions. You wrap your arms around him, holding him close as his sobs break free. You pat his back, trying to calm him down. It's okay, Joe. He gripped you even tighter and buried his face in your neck. I'm sorry. Sorry if my actions hurt you. If my silence hurt you. I was really scared. My past, it left some deep marks. I honestly thought I'd never be able to love again, but then I met you. At first, I didn't know how to deal with all these feelings. I had been hurt so badly before. I just didn't want to go through that again. That's why I kept my distance. I didn't mean to hurt you. I just didn't know how to let my guard down. But being with you, seeing your kindness and patience, it slowly broke down my walls. And now I'm all in, I promise. He pulled back and cradles your face in his hands. You healed me. You showed me that love can be beautiful, not just painful. You know what? I actually love those scars just like I love you because those scars are what helped you break free from her and find your way to me. Honestly, I owe your ex-girlfriend a thank you. His jaw dropped and he burst out laughing. Only you would come up with something like that, but I'm grateful too. Grateful for every twist of fate that brought me to you. He leaned in, making your heart pound, and you can feel his warm breath against your lips. Can I? You nodded, and he kisses you with all the love and passion he has. When you finally pull away for a breath, you can't help but grin playfully. What about my job as your secretary? Should I quit now that everyone knows who I really am? Not a chance. I want you right by my side. Also, you're not just my secretary anymore. You're my partner. We are co-CEOs running this whole empire together.